Hey there, you're looking kind of cute. Don't forget to subscribe and check out all my other socials. Enjoy. The musty smell of old paper filled the garage as fingers traced along the spine of a leather-bound book. The garage sale had been a bust so far, nothing but chipped dishes and faded Christmas decorations. But this book, tucked behind a stack of National Geographic magazines from the 80s, felt different, heavy, important somehow. "Find anything good?" called out a voice from across the driveway. "Maybe." The book's cover bore strange symbols that seemed to shift in the afternoon light. "Hey, Brian, check this out." Brian ambled over, his red polo shirt sticking to his back in the heat. He squinted at the book, then shrugged. "Looks like some weird occult thing. You into that now?" "Could be fun for Halloween." A $5 bill exchanged hands with the elderly woman running the sale. She smiled, revealing a gold tooth. "Careful with that one," she said, her voice raspy. "Some things are better left unread." Back at the apartment, pizza boxes littered the coffee table. The book lay open between empty beer bottles, its pages yellowed and brittle. The symbols seemed to dance in the lamplight. "Listen to this," came the announcement, reading from a page near the middle. "The transmutation of forms, a spell to walk in another's shoes." Sounds like body-swapping stuff. Brian snorted, taking another swig of beer. "Right, and I'm secretly Batman." "No, seriously, look at these instructions. Speak the name thrice while holding an object of theirs. Want to try it?" "You're drunk." "Come on, where's your sense of adventure? We could swap bodies for like an hour, see what it's like." Brian rolled his eyes. "Fine, but when nothing happens, you're buying the next round." The search for something of Brian's began. A baseball cap? No, too impersonal. His phone? He'd never let go of that. Then, spotting it on the counter, Brian's keys with the little photo keychain attached. "Is that Lola?" The tiny picture showed a woman with long blonde hair, bright blue eyes crinkled in laughter. "Yeah, she gave me that last month. Our 6-month anniversary." Brian's face softened. "She's coming over tomorrow, actually. You'll finally get to meet her." Perfect. The keys jingled as they were picked up, the photo keychain catching the light. The incantation from the book rolled off the tongue, ancient syllables that seemed to resonate in the air. "Brian, Brian, Brian." Nothing happened. "Told you it was—" Brian started, but then his eyes widened. The room spun. Colors blurred and twisted. Every molecule seemed to vibrate, pulling apart and reassembling in new patterns. The sensation of falling, floating, dissolving all at once overwhelmed every sense. Then, darkness. Consciousness returned slowly, like surfacing from deep water. Everything felt wrong, different. The apartment ceiling came into focus, but from a weird angle, lower. And why did the couch feel so far away? Sitting up proved challenging. The center of gravity had shifted. Long hair, blonde hair, fell across the field of vision. Delicate hands rose into view, adorned with pink nail polish. "What the hell?" The voice that emerged was high, melodious, not right at all. Stumbling to the bathroom mirror, revealed the impossible truth. Lola's face stared back, heart-shaped, with those same bright blue eyes from the keychain photo. But behind those eyes lurked a very different person. The reflection wore a white sundress with tiny yellow flowers, strappy sandals with low heels, a delicate gold necklace with a small heart pendant. This can't be real. The mirror. Lola touched her face, ran fingers through the silky blonde hair that fell past her shoulders. I'm in Lola's body? A phone buzzed on the bathroom counter. Brian's contact photo lit up the screen, a selfie of them together at the beach. The text read, "Hey beautiful, can't wait to see you tomorrow. Thinking about our dinner plans. Love you." Panic set in. This wasn't supposed to happen. The spell should have swapped bodies with Brian, not this. And Brian thought his girlfriend was coming over tomorrow. His actual girlfriend, whose body now housed someone else entirely. The phone buzzed again. "You okay? You usually text back right away." Fingers fumbled with the phone. What to say? After 3 attempts at typing, a simple response. "Sorry, just got distracted. See you tomorrow." The book. It had to have answers. Racing back to the living room, harder in sandals than expected, revealed Brian passed out on the couch, snoring softly. The book lay open to the same page, but now new text appeared below the spell. Warning, the caster's intent shapes the spell. Speaking another's name while holding a connected object may result in unexpected transformations. Duration varies based on cosmic alignment and strength of will. Great, just great. The apartment door required Lola's keys, found in a small purse by the door. The night air felt different against exposed skin. Every sensation was foreign. The way the dress moved, how the breeze played with long hair, even the way people looked at her on the street. Lola's apartment building stood 12 blocks away, according to the driver's license in her wallet. The walk proved educational. Men held doors open. A woman complimented the dress. Each interaction required quick thinking and mimicry of how Lola might respond. The apartment itself was a revelation. Neat, organized, with touches of personality everywhere. Photos covered one wall, Lola with friends, with family, with Brian. Their relationship documented in snapshots of happiness. The closet triggered another wave of panic. Rows of dresses, skirts, blouses, drawers full of things completely foreign to someone who'd lived in jeans and t-shirts. Tomorrow meant seeing Brian, pretending to be his girlfriend, and somehow not revealing the truth. Sleep came fitfully, interrupted by the strangeness of the body and worry about the morning. Dreams mixed memories with new sensations, creating a confusing tapestry of identity. Morning light streaming through sheer curtains served as an unwelcome alarm. The body still felt foreign, but less shocking than the night before. A shower presented new challenges. Products lined the bathtub edge with purposes that required guesswork. Shampoo, obviously. Conditioner, probably. But what was leave-in treatment? The closet situation couldn't be avoided. Brian expected his girlfriend, not someone fumbling through her wardrobe. After 20 minutes of deliberation, a simple outfit emerged: jean shorts and a light blue tank top. Casual, but put together. The sandals from yesterday would have to do. The array of shoes was overwhelming. Makeup posed a bigger problem. Lola's vanity table held enough products to stock a small store. Foundation, concealer. The difference wasn't clear. After several YouTube tutorials on the phone, a basic look came together. Not perfect, but passable. The drive to Brian's apartment, in Lola's white Honda Civic, included 3 wrong turns despite knowing the route. Everything felt different from this perspective, this height, this body. Brian answered the door with a huge smile that immediately shifted to concern. "Hey, you okay? You look different." "Different how?" The question came out higher-pitched than intended. "I don't know, just, are you feeling all right?" He stepped aside to let her in. The apartment looked exactly as it had been left, minus the pizza boxes. The book was nowhere in sight. Brian wore jeans and a black t-shirt, his hair still damp from a shower. "I'm fine, just didn't sleep well." The lie felt necessary, but uncomfortable. Brian's hand found her waist, pulling her close. The height difference was more noticeable now, having to look up instead of eye level. His cologne, familiar yet suddenly overwhelming, filled every breath. "I missed you," he murmured, leaning down. Dodging the kiss required quick thinking. "Coffee. I need coffee first. You know how I am in the mornings." He laughed, but something flickered in his eyes. Suspicion? Hurt? "Since when? You usually..." People change. Too defensive. Dial it back. "I mean, I'm trying to cut back on caffeine, so I really need it when I do drink it." The coffee maker gurgled while Brian busied himself with breakfast. He moved around the kitchen with easy familiarity, cracking eggs and buttering toast. This was their routine, apparently. Comfortable domesticity that felt like wearing someone else's shoes, which technically was accurate. "So about tonight," Brian said, sliding a plate across the counter. "I made reservations at that Italian place you wanted to try. 7:30? Italian place? Which one?" Lola must have mentioned it, but that information wasn't included in the body swap. "Sounds perfect." "You sure you're okay? You're being weird." "Define weird." "Like that? You're talking differently and you haven't touched your eggs." "You love scrambled eggs." The eggs did look good, but were they safe? What if Lola had allergies? The first bite answered that. No immediate reaction. Just normal breakfast food. Sorry, I told you, rough night, bad dreams. Brian's expression softened. He came around the counter, wrapping strong arms around her from behind. The embrace felt simultaneously safe and terrifying. His chin rested on top of her head, a perfect fit that spoke of countless similar moments. Want to talk about it? Not really. Truth hidden in deflection. His lips brushed her temple. I'm here if you need me. The gentleness in his voice triggered unexpected emotions. This was a good relationship. Brian clearly cared deeply for Lola, and here was someone else, wearing her face, lying to him with every word and gesture. I should go, emerged as a whisper. Already? You just got here. I need to run some errands before tonight. Escape. Need to escape and think. Brian's arms tightened briefly before releasing. Okay, but if something's wrong, you can tell me. You know that, right? A nod was all that could be managed. Looking into his concerned brown eyes while wearing his girlfriend's face felt like the worst kind of betrayal. The drive back to Lola's apartment blurred together. The phone rang twice, Brian checking in, but went unanswered. What was the plan here? Live as Lola forever? Find a way to reverse the spell? Tell Brian the truth and hope he didn't have her committed? The book had to have answers. Breaking back into the original apartment proved easier than expected. The spare key was still under the fake rock. Brian was gone, probably at work. The book sat innocuously on the bookshelf, as if it hadn't completely upended someone's life. Page after page revealed nothing useful. Spells for love, for luck, for wealth. But nothing about reversing a transformation. The original spells page now showed only the warning, as if mocking the predicament. Hours passed. The sun traced its path across the sky, while desperate fingers flipped through ancient pages. Finally, near the back, something promising appeared. To undo what has been done, the reversal of transformation requires 3 elements: the original catalyst, the willing participation of all affected parties, and a sacrifice of equal value. The original catalyst was presumably the keychain, but willing participation? That meant telling Brian. And what constituted equal value to someone's entire identity? The phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Lola, where are you? We were supposed to meet for lunch? Emma. The name triggered a cascade of borrowed memories. Best friend since college. Weekly lunch dates. Inside jokes and shared secrets. Another relationship to navigate without a manual. A response seemed necessary. So sorry, not feeling well, rain check? The reply came instantly. Oh no, do you need anything? I can bring soup. No, I'm okay, just resting. This isn't about Brian, is it? Did he do something? The question sparked curiosity. Were there problems in the relationship? Hidden tensions that Lola kept from Brian? No, nothing like that. Good. Because I would hurt him. You know that, right? Best friend code. The fierce loyalty in those words stirred something. Lola had people who cared about her, a whole life that was being borrowed, worn like an ill-fitting costume. Time check, 4 p.m., 3.5 hours until dinner. The Italian restaurant required an outfit, presumably something nicer than shorts and a tank top. Back to Lola's apartment, back to the closet that felt like a foreign language. A red dress caught the eye. Simple but elegant, hitting just above the knee. It looked like something Lola would wear to a nice dinner. The mirror confirmed it worked, even if the person wearing it felt like a fraud. Heels presented a new challenge. The sandals had been manageable, but these were different. Strappy black things with heights that defied reason. Practice laps around the apartment resulted in only minor stumbles. Walking was possible. Dancing would be out of the question. Makeup required another round of YouTube University. The basics from morning got enhanced with something called evening look. Eyeliner proved particularly troublesome. How did people draw straight lines on their own eyes? The final result looked good. Really good, actually. The mirror showed an attractive woman ready for a date night, but underneath the dress and makeup lurked someone who didn't belong in this skin. Brian texted at 7. On my way to pick you up. Can't wait to see you. No backing out now. The doorbell rang at 7:15. Brian stood in the hallway wearing dark slacks and a blue button-down that brought out his eyes. His expression when the door opened made the entire makeup ordeal worthwhile. Wow, you look Wow. Heat rose in cheeks that weren't technically owned. Thanks. You clean up nice yourself. He offered his arm, a gesture both gallant and natural. The heels made navigation tricky, but his steady presence helped. He opened car doors, pulled out chairs, acted every inch the gentleman. Had he always been like this? Their friendship hadn't included many opportunities to see this side of him. The restaurant hummed with conversation and clinking glasses. Candlelight danced across white tablecloths. Brian ordered wine, something red that Lola apparently loved. It tasted like sophistication and poor decisions. "So," he said after the waiter left with their orders, "want to tell me what's really going on?" "What do you mean?" "Come on, Lola. I know you. Something's been off all day." His hand found hers across the table. "Did I do something? Say something?" The warmth of his touch sent unexpected signals through the borrowed nervous system. "No, you've been perfect. It's just, I'm going through something, trying to figure some things out." "About us?" The question hung between them like a challenge. "Maybe. I don't know. Everything feels different lately." "Different how?" His thumb traced circles on her hand. The gesture, probably unconsciously romantic, sent shivers up an arm that responded in ways its current occupant didn't expect. Like I'm seeing things from a new perspective, like I'm not sure who I am anymore. Truth wrapped in metaphor, Brian's eyes searched her face, looking for clues and features that belonged to someone else. "Is this about moving in together? Because we don't have to rush." "You want to move in together?" The surprise was genuine. Brian's face fell. "We talked about this last week. You said you needed time to think about it." Mental note, Lola had been considering a major relationship step. The weight of that decision, added to everything else, felt crushing. "Right, sorry, I'm just scattered tonight." The food arrived, providing temporary distraction. Lola had ordered something called osso buco. It looked fancy and smelled amazing. Each bite revealed new flavors, enhanced somehow by the different taste buds. "This is really good," came out without thinking. Brian smiled. "You say that every time we come here." "We've been here before?" Now his concern shifted to alarm. "Lola, seriously, what's wrong? You're acting like you have amnesia or something." Close enough to the truth to hurt. "I'm sorry, I know I'm being weird. Can we just enjoy dinner, please?" He squeezed her hand. "Of course, but I'm here when you're ready to talk." The rest of the meal passed in careful conversation. Brian carried most of it, talking about work, about his family, about plans for the weekend. Each piece of information got filed away, building a picture of their relationship from the outside in. They were good together, compatible. Brian was attentive without being overbearing, funny without trying too hard. He remembered little things, how she liked her wine, which side of the table she preferred, when to fill the silence and when to let it breathe. "Dessert?" he asked when the plates were cleared. "Share the tiramisu?" His face lit up. "You remembered?" Apparently, this was their thing. One dessert, 2 forks, a ritual of casual intimacy. The sweetness burst across the tongue, made richer somehow by the sharing. "I love you," Brian said suddenly, quietly, like the words escaped without permission. The fork froze halfway to borrowed lips. He'd said it before, obviously. Lola would have responded. But what right did an imposter have to speak those words? "I know things have been moving fast," he continued, filling the silence. "And I know you need space to figure things out. But I want you to know where I stand. I love you, Lola. All of you. Even when you're being weird and mysterious." Tears threatened, surprising and unwelcome. "Brian, you don't have to say it back. I just needed you to know." The walk to the car happened in silence. Brian didn't push, didn't demand reciprocation. He simply held the door, made sure she was comfortable, and drove through streets that sparkled with nighttime possibilities. "Your place or mine?" he asked at a red light. The question carried weight, expectations. Their 6-month relationship surely included certain activities that went beyond dinner and conversation. "Mine. I'm really tired." Disappointment flickered across his features before understanding took its place. "Of course. Rain check on that movie?" "Movie. Right. That's what he meant. Relief and guilt warred for dominance. At Lola's building, he insisted on walking her to the door. The hallway felt too short, the goodbye too imminent. At the apartment door, he cupped her face gently, thumb brushing across a cheekbone that belonged to someone else. Whatever's going on, we'll figure it out together. Okay? A nod was all that emerged. He leaned down, and this time dodging would have been cruel. His lips met hers in a kiss that was gentle, familiar to him, earth-shattering to the person behind Lola's eyes. Every nerve ending lit up. The borrowed body responded with muscle memory, arms wrapping around his neck, pulling him closer. But the mind processing these sensations reeled from the implications. This was Brian, best friend Brian, and it felt... He pulled back, breathing unsteady. I should go before I invite myself in. Yes, good idea. Words tumbled out in a graceless heap. I love you, he said again, pressing a kiss to her forehead before stepping back. The door closed between them with a click that sounded like finality. Inside, back pressed against wood, legs that barely held weight in sensible flats, let alone heels. The dress felt too tight, the air too thin. What the hell just happened? Sleep wouldn't come. The bed smelled like Lola's perfume, something floral and sophisticated. Every position felt wrong in this body. Finally, abandoning the effort, the search for answers resumed. Lola's laptop revealed a life in detail. Social media profiles, emails, work documents. She was a graphic designer at a small firm downtown. Her calendar showed client meetings, deadlines, a life that would need to be lived if this continued much longer. Photos documented the relationship with Brian. 6 months of dates, celebrations, quiet moments caught in pixels. They looked happy, natural together in a way that spoke of genuine connection. One folder made the heart race. Moving in? Inside, spreadsheets comparing apartments, lists of pros and cons, a draft email to her landlord about lease terms. She'd been seriously considering Brian's offer. The phone buzzed. 3:47 a.m. Brian, can't sleep, keep thinking about tonight. I'm sorry if I pressured you. He was awake, worried he'd overstepped. The good man who deserved better than deception. Fingers moved across the keyboard. You didn't. I'm just confused about everything. Want to talk? I can come over. No, we both need sleep. But thank you. Okay. Sweet dreams, beautiful. The endearment stung. Beautiful. He meant Lola, not the person currently wearing her face. The distinction mattered, even if he couldn't see it. Morning brought new challenges. Work email showed 3 messages marked urgent. Clients expecting revisions on projects that might as well have been in hieroglyphics. Calling in sick would buy time, but how long could that last? The decision to return to the book felt inevitable. Maybe something was missed. Maybe repeated reading would reveal hidden meanings. The spare key still worked, though being caught breaking into the apartment while wearing Lola's body would be hard to explain. The book lay where it had been left, but now, a new page seemed to glow faintly. Words that definitely weren't there before. The transformed must walk the full path to understanding. Only through complete immersion can the lesson be learned and the spell undone. Lesson? What lesson? How to apply eyeliner, the proper way to walk in heels, or something deeper, understanding what it meant to live in someone else's skin, to carry their relationships, their responsibilities? The phone rang. Emma's name on the screen. Don't you dare send me to voicemail, she said without preamble. I'm coming over with coffee, and you're going to tell me what's really going on. Emma, 20 minutes, and I'm bringing the good stuff from that place you like. The line went dead. 20 minutes to figure out how to fool Lola's best friend. The book offered no guidance on that particular challenge. Emma arrived in exactly 19 minutes, carrying 2 cups and a bakery bag. She wore yoga pants and an oversized sweater, her dark hair piled in a messy bun. Her expression suggested she wouldn't be easily deflected. Spill, she commanded, handing over a cup. And don't tell me you're fine. I know your fine voice, and that wasn't it. The coffee tasted perfect, exactly how Lola would have ordered it. Emma knew her friend well, too well. It's complicated. Safe, non-committal. It always is with you and Brian. Emma settled on the couch, pulling her legs under her. Did he finally ask about moving in together? How did you, Please, he's been building up to it for weeks. The man has no poker face. She studied Lola's face intently. Wait, did something else happen? Oh my God, did he propose? No! The denial came out too strong. No, nothing like that. He told me he loves me. Emma's eyebrows rose. Again? Honey, he tells you that like 5 times a day. Right, but last night felt different, more serious. Because of the moving in thing? Emma leaned forward. Look, I know you have commitment issues. After what happened with David? David? Who was David? Another piece of Lola's history that remained locked away. But Brian isn't him. Brian's one of the good ones. He's not going to hurt you like that. The coffee provided something to do besides respond. Emma seemed content to fill the silence, launching into a story about her own relationship dramas. She was a good friend, loyal and caring. Another person being deceived by this charade. You know what you need? Emma announced after finishing her tale. A girls' day. When's the last time we did that? Manicures? Shopping? Day drinking? I don't think Tomorrow, no excuses. I'll pick you up at 10. She gathered her things, pressing a kiss to Lola's cheek. And wear something cute. We're going to fix whatever this is with retail therapy. After she left, the apartment felt smaller. The walls closed in with the weight of appointments that couldn't be kept, relationships that couldn't be maintained. How long before someone noticed that Lola wasn't quite herself? How long before the truth became impossible to hide? The phone buzzed. Brian again. Lunch? I can bring Ty from that place near my office. Their routine, their life, a rhythm that pulled the imposter along like a current. Sure, noon? Perfect. You like the pad CU, right? Extra spicy? Another test passed. You know me so well. I try. See you soon, beautiful. That word again. Beautiful. Each time it chiseled away at defenses, creating cracks where unwanted feelings could seep through. Brian arrived with takeout bags and a smile that faltered when he saw her. Still in pajamas, Lola's pajamas, soft cotton shorts, and a tank top that left too much skin exposed. Rough morning? Didn't feel like getting dressed? The truth for once. He unpacked containers on the coffee table, creating a feast of familiar favorites. The domesticity of it struck hard. How many lunches like this had they shared? How many more were expected? Emma called me, he said, not looking up from his pad tie. Said you seemed off, wanted to make sure I wasn't being an idiot about something. You're not an idiot? Debatable. He managed a smile. But seriously, if I'm moving too fast, just tell me. We can slow down. The food stuck in her throat. This good man offering patience and understanding to someone who wasn't who he thought. It's not you, I promise. I'm just processing things. The David thing? There it was again. The mysterious David who'd apparently left scars on Lola's heart. That's part of it. Brian's jaw tightened. I'm not him. You know that, right? I would never... I know. A hand reached out without conscious thought, covering his. I know you're not him. The tension eased from his shoulders. Good, because if I ever meet that guy, I might forget I'm a pacifist. They ate in companionable silence after that. Brian had a gift for knowing when to push and when to let things be. He talked about work, a difficult client who kept changing specifications, normal problems that felt like vacation compared to the current situation. Oh, I almost forgot. He pulled something from his pocket. I found this at my place. Thought you might want it back. A silver bracelet with a small charm. Delicate, pretty, definitely Lola's. But taking it meant maintaining the lie. Thanks, I wondered where that went. He fastened it around her wrist with careful fingers. There, perfect. The weight of it felt like a shackle. Each piece of Lola's life that got absorbed made it harder to remember where she ended and the imposter began. I should get back to work, Brian said eventually, gathering empty containers. Dinner tonight? Maybe? Can I let you know? Of course. He kissed her temple, a gesture so natural it barely registered. Text me later. Alone again, the bracelet caught the light. Pretty, delicate, like everything in Lola's life. How had someone so put together ended up dating Brian? They seemed to come from different worlds, her refined elegance and his casual warmth. The laptop offered more clues. Photos from college showed a younger Lola, still blonde and beautiful, but with an edge that had softened over time. Party pictures, study groups, a life fully lived. And there, David. tall, dark-haired, with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. They looked perfect together in the early photos. Later ones showed strain, Lola's smiles becoming forced. The final photos in that folder were telling. Lola with friends, no David in sight, but something broken in her expression. Emma featured prominently, protective arm around her friend's shoulders. The timestamp showed 2 years ago. 2 years to heal from whatever David had done. Then Brian entered the picture. Kind, patient Brian, who brought Thai food and understood about needing space. Who loved her despite her walls and waited for her to be ready for more. The phone rang. Unknown number. Lola, it's Janet from work. Just checking if you're feeling better. We really need those Mitchell designs by Friday. Work. Right. Still under the weather, but I'll try to get them done from home. You're a lifesaver. Feel better. The laptop screen showed Adobe Illustrator, a program that might as well have been rocket science. The Mitchell file opened to reveal half-finished logos for what looked like a restaurant, professional work that required skills currently not possessed. YouTube helped again. Basic tutorials, crash courses in design principles. The work was actually interesting, creative in ways previously unexplored. Hours passed without notice, lost in color theory and typography. The designs weren't perfect, but they were credible, sent with fingers crossed and a prayer that Mitchell wouldn't be too picky. Evening crept in with golden light through windows. The phone showed missed texts from Brian, checking in, from Emma, confirming tomorrow's plans, from other names that meant nothing, Lola's life carrying on without her. The mirror presented the same stranger who'd been there that morning. Blonde hair tangled from unconscious touching, makeup long since faded, but something in the expression had changed. Less panic, more... what? Acceptance? Resignation? Who are you? The reflection didn't answer. The book might. One more trip to the apartment, one more search for answers, but the spare key wouldn't turn. Changed locks? Brian being safety conscious? Or something else? Knocking felt risky, but options were limited. Footsteps approached from inside. The door opened to reveal not Brian, but a stranger. Older woman, graying hair, suspicious expression. Can I help you? Is Brian home? Who's Brian? This is my apartment. The world tilted. Since when? Since I moved in 3 days ago. Are you feeling all right, dear? 3 days ago, before the spell. Which meant, what? Reality shifting? Or had the apartment always belonged to this woman and memory was playing tricks? Sorry, wrong apartment. The words came out steady despite internal chaos. Back on the street, nothing looked quite right. The coffee shop on the corner, had it always been a dry cleaner? The park across the street seemed smaller, playground equipment in different positions. The phone GPS showed Brian's apartment in a completely different neighborhood, 20 minutes by bus to a building that triggered no recognition. But his name was on the buzzer, apartment 4B. Lola? His voice through the intercom sounded surprised. Everything okay? Can I come up? Of course. The elevator ride lasted forever. Brian waited in his doorway, concern creasing his features. The apartment behind him looked nothing like the remembered space. Neater, more organized, with furniture that suggested adult decisions rather than post-college hand-me-downs. Hey, what's wrong? You look scared. Inside, everything felt alien. Have you always lived here? For 2 years, yeah. Lola, you're freaking me out. Do you need to sit down? The couch was leather, not the ratty fabric one from memory. Photos on the walls showed Brian's life, family, friends, trips, and scattered throughout. Pictures with Lola. At the beach, at restaurants, casual moments of couple life. Where's the book? The question escaped before thought could censor it. What book? The old one, leather-bound, with the symbols on the cover. Brian's confusion deepened. I have no idea what you're talking about. Should I call someone? Emma, maybe? The book was gone, or had never existed, or existed in a reality that no longer applied. Without it, any hope of reversal disappeared like smoke. I need to use your bathroom. Sure, you know where it is. Did she? Muscle memory guided feet down a hallway that shouldn't have been familiar. The bathroom was pristine, products arranged with military precision, nothing like the controlled chaos of bachelor life. The mirror showed the same face, Lola's face. But the eyes behind it were losing their grip on who they used to be. Memories blurred, which belonged to the original self and which to this borrowed life. "Lola?" Brian knocked gently. "I'm really worried. Please talk to me." Opening the door meant facing him, facing the reality that this might be permanent, that the spell, if there had been a spell, had rewritten more than just a body. "I don't know who I am anymore." The admission came out as a whisper. Brian's arms enveloped her immediately. Hey, it's okay. You're Lola, you're my girlfriend, you're safe." Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my other socials if you want more content, early access, behind the scenes, and more. All links down below.